Welcome back. This second video will focus on tips for success in the NCST course. So these are just some tips I picked up through my own time of working and earning my STEM certificate, as well as working with many other candidates over the years. These are some things I have found that really help make sure that our candidates are successful right from the very beginning of the course. First off, I sent you last week a link to or a recommendation to the video found in the help section called Creating Strong Portfolio Submissions. This is a 16-minute long video that can be found in the help section, but it is exactly what you need to do to have a strong portfolio submission. It goes through all the parts, how to collect your evidence, and what exactly I'm going to be looking for as your certificate coach when I am reviewing your submissions. So definitely want to take a look at that video. Tip number 2. Use the evidence and data from the observations and walkthroughs that you are already doing for T-tests. That was what saved me so much time when I was earning my certificate. At the time, I was doing somewhere around 20 classroom walkthroughs and some extended observations every week. I was an instructional coach. And so a big part of my week was going into classrooms, and I was making observations on the district observation forms. And so I just made some slight adjustments to bring the collecting evidence documents with me, or what you might find that you do as you're taking those notes down while you're in an observation, just the regular notes that you're normally doing on a walkthrough, I would go back and review my notes that I had in my notebook or my digital notes when I did them digitally. I would review those notes later on and complete my collecting evidence documents. Don't make this separate from those observations and walkthroughs you are already doing as part of your day as an administrator on your campus. That can be so, so helpful. Tip number 3, you do not have to work through the course sequentially. That can be a huge time saver. So when you get a chance, I would go into the course and take a look at the certificate map. You may even want to print this out for you as a checklist that you can kind of work through. So when you're in the certificate map, and there's a link on the left-hand side of the screen, these all expand down so you can see all the indicators. Okay. And you can access them in any order you want. So they're all available to you right away. We don't make you do one before you move into the other. Nothing's locked for you. So what I love to do when I was working through the course, and what I see a lot of successful candidates do, is they say, okay, I just did this observation. It definitely showed me that the physical space, that student interaction piece with flexible seating, but it also was a technology lesson. And so I know that I have these integrating technology indicators. And so in one observation, I can knock out 3 indicators just by looking at the observation through that lens, through the lens of flexible seating, through the lens of technology integration, and the lens of enhancing learning with technology. So I'm going to look at it through 3 separate lenses, but one observation. That can really save you some time. And that led me right into number 4. So because you don't have to work sequentially, that does allow you to use that one observation for multiple indicators. Definitely a big time saver there on tips number 3 and number 4. Tip number 5. Have a copy of all the collecting evidence documents ready to use. So this will help with tips 3 and 4 as well. So a place you can go so that you have them all ready. Okay, so whenever you're like, hey, I'm going to work on indicator 21, 22, 23, and I want to have them ready to go. You can go into the introduction and overview. So I'm in the certificate map and helpful documents. The very last place, there is the collecting evidence documents. So these will be submitted to me with each of your submissions. There is 1 per indicator. You can print them out. We have the PDF available for you. So these will be printed out and handwritten and then scanned back into me. And you just go ahead. I have a lot of candidates that just put these into a binder. Okay. And so they're all right there. I can make notes on them whenever I'm seeing that when I'm making observations. Or you can do the editable PDF. So this one is editable. You're just going to add your notes to it, save this onto your desktop, add your notes to it as you're completing observations. You can jump around. Remember, you do not have to work sequentially. And then save this, and then you're just going to print out the page that I need. So would you go up to print settings? You want to save as PDF, and you're just going to do a custom. And so maybe today I only took notes on 4 through 5. And I'm going to save that as a PDF and upload it to me with your submission. So having those handy has really seemed to help a lot of candidates. You don't have to print them all at once. You can take them one by one as you're working through the course, but that's up to you. I have seen that be a very successful way to work through the program with other candidates. And then next, so we know the old phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. You should not judge an indicator by its title. While the titles are descriptive of what can be found in an indicator, sometimes we might not quite understand. So my interpretation of a title may be different from your interpretation of a title. That's why it's always a good idea, even if we're pretty sure we're an expert on an indicator, that we go ahead and just take a few minutes to review the course content just to make sure that you really know what it's about. And you don't have to go all the way through it. These are not actually, the course content activities are not turned into me for review. It's completely for you. A good way to move through, you can do start and arrow through it, the navigating that way, or there's this little menu. A great place to just get a what is this is the what learn. It's going to really describe exactly what that indicator is about. I do strongly recommend just at least going in and reading the what learn piece, just so you can be clear that you fully understand what the indicator is about and what you should be collecting evidence on. And that is the end. Those are the top 6 tips that I can give you that's really going to help you move through this program both efficiently and with great success. Don't worry though, if I have to give you a resubmit, I'm going to give you some tips on your resubmission. So make sure and read my feedback, and we can turn that around really fast. I will tell you a lot of the feedback I'm going to give you though is usually, let me go flip back, all covered right here in this creating a strong portfolio submission. Most of the time when I have to ask for a resubmit, it's because of this right here, that there are pieces that are missing that are actually required as part of our portfolio submission. And the second place that I oftentimes that we have a few resubmits is going to be that tip 6, just making sure that we're on track for what the indicator is actually about, what strategies would be considered as part of that indicator. So I hope that those 6 tips help you with your strong start. If you need anything else or have any questions, please feel free to send me an email at hross@nice.institute. I look forward to seeing y'all over in the portal. Have a great day.